What is happening, John Denton here? A busy Friday, even currently as speaking, without Kanye dropping Donda as he promised. We'll see what happens throughout the day. But regardless, Logic's final album, apparently that's what he's saying, retiring to go and stream games on Twitch and be with his family. I respect that a lot. Excited to do this actually because he's given himself enough time between projects to hopefully fine-tune some of the stuff that he's been doing and kind of not necessarily get back to the old Logic, but just to remember his ability to rap, his ability to find pockets and beats, but also his ability to connect to people, which is a thing that I think really made him stand out and makes him stand out. Quickly before I start, if you did want to see this in uncut form, that's there on my Patreon. There's a link down there in the description. Subscribe to this channel and follow me Twitter and Instagram as well. But I also just wanted to say like a massive thank you to Logic's fan base, to the Rat Pack, because quite honestly, I wouldn't be here doing this without you guys. And I don't mean that on like a 1-800 thing, but go back and watch the first ever hip-hop video, hip-hop music that I reacted to, Logic's, I believe, Gang Shit, all the way back on Rock Reacts. We did a few Logic songs early on. It was always part of the plan. It was always part of my plan anyway. Unfortunately, you guys just elevated that channel out of the miasma of sort of tiny YouTube channels, and it started getting 1,000 subs a day really quickly. I mean, that channel got 100,000 subs in like 3 months from 0. So yeah, and that is almost all entirely to Logic fans, and then that jumping off into other hip hop fans and everything like that. So a massive thank you. I owe this to Logic. So many reaction channels, in fact, owe what they're doing to Logic and Logic's fans. So yeah, excited to do this record. Hope it's good.
To the No Pressure Program.
Ooh.
Growing up, the world told me I could not address her. Gangsters put that heat to your head like a hairdresser. If you press an issue on they block.
Hey, Logic, sneakier.
I'm like Titanic or some other shit. Word to your mothership. Boy, that's that gutter shit. Breaking down the weed to get high as Thomas and Cobb, but y'all ain't ready.
Classic boom bap beat, good bars, some slick punchlines, weird Metal Gear bit in there. Couldn't really ask for more right away. I'm happy.
My headphones on, it's Illmatic on my Rosa Parks in the bag, writing like B-Rabbit, how I carry it. Two alive like twins in a boom, come hither, consume all of my memories from past and present like two identities. Logic falling off is an obscenity. Top 5.
We always knew that you could do this because you'd done it before. So that's why it was frustrating to hear a lot of music where the rhymes weren't there, the punchlines weren't there. It just felt like it was being churned out far too quickly. And don't get me wrong, even through that period of him sort of putting out an album every 3 months, probably enough to sort of compile and put out like one actually really good project. But there wasn't a lot of this. There wasn't enough.
Okay. I think it's gonna be a good day. Homie got the 9 in the glove and he don't play. Had a lot of hard times, but it's okay.
Okay, so we got the nice little, I mean, we just heard J. Cole's The Climb Back yesterday. We had a little interpolation of the 1-800 melody when he was talking about suicide hotlines. And Logic just used his own one there, just in that okay, just a little. It's been very self-referential so far, which makes sense for a retirement project. Beats have been fantastic. This immediately talking about Glove and a 9, so I'm like, okay, it's going in a slightly different direction than what I thought.
Think it's gonna be a good day. Homie got the 9 in the glove and he don't play. Had a lot of hard times, but it's okay. Kids in the community outlining chalk, scared of drive-bys when they should just be scared of the dark. I know you hear it in my voice, make the devil stop it. Too many people dying. And
This production is fucking amazing for starters. It says 6 on this one. I don't say there was no idea on the previous one. I don't know if he's involved with the whole thing, but yeah, the depth of it sounds like a lot of real instruments potentially going on there regardless.
Trying to make a change, so can you hit my line? I know you hear this rhyme, but come to think of it, you probably hear this all the time. Probably hear this all the time. I think it's gonna be a good day.
Just to go back, I love that. So you can obviously talking about can you hit my lines, like he wants God to reach out to him. And I know you hear this rhyme, but come to think of it, you probably hear this all the time. You know, so many people reaching out, so many people needing something right now.
You and me rolling together in this perfect harmony.
I I'm calling. Me spit it on my yellow minute. I'm stuck in a clinic like Flynn Montgomery. Take a step back, tell me right now, boy, just what your summary. Creeping through fireside.
Came up in a world that's off its axis. All is promised death and taxes. Don't give a fuck, it'll be roaming the fastest. My anxiety make me spit it a mile a minute. I mean, that's interesting. That could be an interesting insight, because I'm hoping he holds back on some of that like ultra fast machine gun flow here, because while that stuff does sound cool, ultimately you end up losing a lot of substance, I think, when you're spitting that fast. And if he does it as a sort of compensation method to combat his anxiety in putting music out, that's an interesting line, that.
Not equal, shoot up the steeple, my God. If you exist, then why you make life so hard? If you exist, the way you think is avant-garde.
If this standard is maintained through the record, this is going to be on a completely different level to the stuff that he was putting out in the last few years. Completely different level. Also, because I've got no brain, I was like, I recognise this chorus. And then my brain went, nah, you probably don't. And then obviously it's Elevators from Outkast. I've got the reaction to that very album, ATLians, Atlians, 8lians, whatever you want to call it, on this channel. But I got no brain, and it's early.
It's like Thanos and Bobby Boy bringing the doom, cause I'm 630, killing shit hands down and dirty. Produce you to my train of thought. Woo. Snapping on the track like the illest conductor.
It's been there all along. And he even threw in, I wonder how the people are going to remember me, goddamn, because he was throwing in that scheme, that goddamn, all the time in all his songs. Switch up the plan, he immediately goes. Great bars in here, great lines, paying homage to all the people that he respects growing up. Erykah Badu, Jay Dilla, obviously Andre 3K, Biggie. We're definitely in a 3-for-3 situation. I'm really happy so far, because this could have gone either way, it really could have.
It's a celebration, bitches. Came a long way from bus stops and watching.
Very much like Kanye graduation vibes on this one.
But I'm known to be vicious. I get under people's skin like stitches. No strings attached, I just let it dissolve. Give it time and then let it resolve. It's been a minute now.
Also, I get under people's skin like stitches. No strings attached, I just let it dissolve. Give it time and then let it resolve. Come on, Logic. Here we go.
I want to tell you what to do, cause it's what they want to do. If they had the opportunity to, but too scared. That's why they live vicariously through you.
Tell him, Logic. Tell him. Listen, some of the criticism has been valid, but regardless, what he says is the truth. Most people want to tell you what to do because it's what they want to do if they had an opportunity to, but too scared, so they live vicariously through you. That is the truth. So many people do that.
The transit in the dead of the night. These fucking zombies, but really that's beyond me. Trying to live my dream from everything that I've seen as a young man. Murals, doing shows in other countries, coming back with euros. There's that type of flow that really make your girl go.
This is making me happy. It really is. See, like his shoulders are dropped back down. This stress. I know he was getting a lot of shit online. He's been through a difficult time. Like, he's definitely been through a difficult time. Got divorced in this time, and yeah, they said it was all amicable. I mean that's going to be a crazy time for anybody. And he was putting out a lot of music, like a lot of music, and a lot of it wasn't of the best standard, and it wasn't of the standard that he's capable of. And now it feels with these No ID beats as well. Like, I mean, if it's like this all the way through, it's surely going to be his best album. Or, I mean, people will hold different things in different regards just because, like, they'll connect with certain things. So maybe, you know, you won't necessarily agree with that. But this genuinely feels like he has evolved. And the pressure, the lack of pressure, and knowing he's retiring after this to go and do something else, to go and stream on Twitch, to go and be with his family. And it's going to be interesting to see how he fights that, because streaming for me, video games is not a creative outlet. Some people may disagree, but it's definitely an exhausting career path. But I'm sure that he's not going to have to put in the hours that your classic pro streamer has to put in. But regardless, this is just making me happy because you can hear it in him, especially a song like that. Guys, let's take a quick look at this excellent cover art. Always let's talk about the cover art on new projects. I mean, colours, fantastic. That kind of burnt orange going to yellow at the background there, and these, you know, either ascending or I believe underwater. Regardless, everything's being lifted up, almost like the pressure's being taken up from Logic. It's a very striking image. The colours are fantastic. You have the nice little playoff between the cyan and his computer screen and the orange, which you'll see everywhere still. You know, films are graded like that, film posters, movie posters, game covers, everything like that. But yeah, it's a really great cover, and so far it's a very, very good album. Like, it is a hip-hop album. Great lines, great lyrics, amazing beats, great flow, great energy. I haven't got a single thing to complain about so far.
Rip out my soul from the depths of my flesh on my blood I caress, right on the pace so it's fresh. I take my time but express, light on my mind but I guess it's just in my genes, like a Black 17, like a genetic scene. Drop the record on the needle and express my pain. Can't wait until my sun shine and together we reign.
It's good though, isn't it? It's good though. Music my drug tart off and inject the syringe. It's in my blah 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 blah. Just drop the record on the needle and express my pain. Can't wait until my son shine. And his son, because obviously he's having his child and that's why he's retiring. And together we reign. It's good though, isn't it? It is.
I knew I always wanted more, like the Roots of 9-5. And I'll be sure to...
Spitting on this one. It really is. What did he say there? Battled addiction in the womb, a crack baby by definition. Keys to ignition with no permission. That means that I'm driven. Come on. Yeah.
I wrote it sitting shotgun in my favorite ride. Reflecting on memories from my childhood. Bringing a baby in this world, I hope my child good. Yes, I'm like Leo and Revenant, bear with me. You couldn't tear me apart, but I won't take away the fact I wrote this shit from the heart. Where it's built from the start.
I'm like Leo and Revenant, bear with me. Come on, Bobby.
Lyrics as I repeat them and beat them into my conscience like a dinosaur. This lyricism straight to the dome like cocaine through the sinus.
Come on.
Goddamn conversations with people. Crazy how one day the legends forget that they equal on this under pressure sequel. We not taking it back, we keeping it pushing. People scared of change, but you'll find me deep in the cushion.
People scared of change, but you'll find me deep in the cushion because he's digging under the cushion for change. It's good though. It really is. Beats are fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I'm darker than Gotham is like reading Nostradamus at 90 degrees. You better believe I know how to turn a profit with ease.
Like reading Nostradamus at 90 degrees, you better believe I know how to turn a profit with ease. So he's turned Nostradamus the prophet 90 degrees. Come on.
It's a representation to give your family your time. If you're searching for love in the industry, you'll be let down. They don't love you till you get it and they call you profound. Finally,
I mean, whatever you want to say about the guy, his flow is just absolutely outrageous. It's outrageously good. And I don't think anybody could ever deny that. Even when he was just spitting nonsense in some of these tracks. Not some of these tracks, some of those tracks. Could never deny the flow. Now he's bringing back the lyricism and the punchlines, and to me a higher level. So I went back and listened to Under Pressure yesterday just to prep for this. Great record. This is way better, as in terms of sort of rapping, technical rapping ability, punchlines, lyricism, schemes, flow patterns.
Type shit. Hey yo, once upon a time, a couple of guys from out this world was talking rap and hip hop with a young synthetic girl. The year was 2115 and Babel Space Station was home to.
Now I'm going to acknowledge it. I have the Genius open so I can reference lyrics. They said this was a Lupe Fiasco Gold Watch sample on the Genius. I'm going to acknowledge it so you don't get mad at me in the comments. I wouldn't have picked it up on my own. What more can I say?
It's inevitable and livable for man, and no matter what happens, you know we gon' stick to the plan.
Beats gorgeous on this bit. This lyrically though reminds me more of the stuff that he had coming out the last few years. Bit overly simple, a bit meandering, doesn't have the punchlines and slick transitions and slick flow patterns. It's not bad, but this is more like the Logic that we'd been hearing. So I'm hoping we get back to everything else, including the first half of this song.
Bitch, I did it, I made it, I'm loved and I'm hated.
Okay.
I started from the bottom, now my neighborhood is gated. Body beats, I'm not discreet. This is how I feel on the inside. The motherfucking streets, man. Fire.
I like the fact this one's really short. I love the old school, really, really old school style to the beat. I love the Street Fighter samples as well, obviously. Okay. Come on.
Not a single one got an idea, so I write it down on this page. Feel like I'm 35 times my age. Look in the mirror, don't know what to say.
Listen, I was looking for what the sample of that trumpet line was. I felt like it was from a Kanye song. I'm really good at hearing samples and not knowing what they're from, and obviously this has only been out a few minutes, so there's not the information out there. Let me know. Like, that's just going to be how it is on my channel. I'll go, oh yeah, I recognise that, and I'll never know where it's from. And then when I was looking for that, it also said it was the same kind of little guitar hook sample from Indica Badu, one of his better songs of the last few years, and now I can hear it as well. This is a very good track again.
Like therapy, spit it merrily. I ain't perfect, I got problems, I got issues like People magazine. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it was food stamps. And I love my wife like I am Chance. I bet you rap about the shit, me and him rap about it. Rappers praying they next, this shit is cutthroat. I'm living on another planet. My manic depression make me constantly want to panic. Up to my elbows in every single inch of my body and my baby shit. I can tell you more about diapers than modern rappers and ciphers. I used to be about to be rabbits, I'm a Kai Pfeiffer.
Love that little flow switch at the end, and it's always funny to hear a dad talking about that kind of new dad thing with the diapers and nappies, as I call them. Baby shit, all that sort of stuff. My kids are too old for that now, but it's so relatable to anybody that has a kid and is there for the kid.
Goddamn, already had a hard life once. Am I supposed to recreate it every album for you cunts? Okay, you wanna hear about my everyday? I wake up, I wake my son up, then I feed him and lead him into his car seat. Cause my drawers stink as fuck and I need some new drawers. Then I spot some more fans staying hella hardcore. Ask me for a pic and I was
about to say, is very, very Stan coming there with all the little sound effects and samples in the background, and obviously actually mentions it here.
Then I grab some preparation H for the critics up my ass. Head to aisle 5 for some Sergeant Smash Siri punchlines and sound dope like this. Chilling with the homies in the crib.
It's kind of an irony to this song though, because it's nice to hear him rap about that sort of stuff, and this isn't a lyrically complex song, but it is quite a funny, light-hearted track. And I think that perhaps he's saying, why would you want to hear that sort of stuff? Because you definitely have those thoughts, because, you know, when you're in that situation, that is your life, and you can relate to other people, and that's their life as well. But ultimately, you don't want to put that on other people who just try and do normal shit, because it isn't very interesting. But actually, it is interesting. I'd rather hear him talk about that sort of stuff than normal rap shit. Come on.
Precious shit kinda got us reacquainted. I'm happy you could join me in this universe I painted. Such a beautiful feeling, I really can't explain it. Hey, yeah, this that barbecue music. Life is a blessing and a curse depending how you use it.
Okay. So we're getting 5 different beats. I mean, he said 5 hooks, but let's see.
I go for mine, homie, I got to shine, homie. All I do is grind, homie, all I do is rhyme. I'm in a dream like Jermaine in 09, know what I mean? Fresh on the scene like a first.
So much homage being paid on this record as well, which is really nice. Loads of Cole, loads of Kanye, Outkast, obviously.
To fuck about the leak when you got the whale. Watch me excel, propelled, and goes the fuck out like Dave Chappelle. You the illest, pray tell, I'm like God.
Yeah, we haven't had any slick bars for a few tracks, but I like that. Who gives a fuck about the leak when you've got the well? And then watch me excel, propelled, and goes the fuck out like Dave Chappelle. But I like that. Who gives a fuck about the leak when you got the well?
Yeah. Depression, anxiety got a hold of me, cause people say they want the older me. It's even out when socials are in my vicinity. I'm not running from the internet. My God, I was at his birth, I've been a vet.
Nice little Office Space reference there. Yeah, this feels like we're getting that insight into what the hell's been going on, and you've been able to hear it in the music, not necessarily so much in this album, but I think it was important for him to touch on this stuff, because like there was no doubt that all the criticism was getting to him, and it was being reflected in his music.
They sat back and considered, do I need all that? Is this trip really necessary? They would come to the conclusion that it wasn't.
Another track that's less bar heavy, but nonetheless poignant, quite powerful, not overdone, and I think it was important for him to keep it fairly simple and on point for that track. I think that he could have fallen into the trap of making a whole album like this or making song after song after song like this. I'm assuming this is going to be an isolated thing on this record. And I think with all of the high quality tracks, the Celebrate, the Open Mic, all the stuff that's on there with the real slick bars and everything like that, it was fine to just strip back. I like the kind of low key production, the way it brought his voice to the fore, and then the heavier drums kicked in. It was nice, man.
Yeah. Hey, I've been real, that's all I ever knew how to be. Fuck what you heard, I only write what I see. I get gritty, 9-6 P. Diddy, setting fire to the city. Keep it real, keep it true, sicker than the flu.
It's good fun going through. I was just like, where did he say K? Where did he say K?
Government dope and I get higher than my IQ.
I saw a kid with no smile on his face today. Where is my place in this bright future? I heard him say.
That Kanye beat there straight away.
Say I ain't good enough, they say I ain't hood enough. But through I'ma keep it 100, I know you can overcome it. Baby mama tripping, I know I've been there. Boss caught you slipping, I know I've been there.
It's a nice switch up. I love the Kanye beat in there. Again, it's not super slick with the wordplay. Like it's like the first half of the album, it's really, really slick lyricism. More straightforward second part of the album, but you can't fault the beats, and I'm still enjoying every single track.
Anyone who ride with me, heard me laugh, watch me cry, did time with me. In the game, not just on the sideline with me. I'm a sinner, I'll admit it, but I got God with me. Only place I felt I belong was Babel Station. Cooking crack for my generation.
Woo! Come on. More Graduation vibes. Massively. Ooh. With a bit of 808s.
The wholesome practicability of the profit system. But surely my right to having more than enough is cancelled if I don't use that more to help those who have less. Race hate isn't human nature. Race hate is the abandonment of human nature. When my time's up, I remain as always, obediently yours.
Wow. That was a brilliant outro to the album, an amazing speech from Orson Welles. I'd never heard that before. Very powerful, beautiful music put behind it as well. And overall, that was extremely both disheartening and uplifting at the same time. It was a dichotomy of both things, but I don't know how old that speech is. I'd imagine 80 years maybe. I don't know. I literally have no idea. See, I have no idea. I don't even know, I guess. I could look it up. But very, very prevalent right now, obviously. But there are lessons from that speech which make things of recent times feel like more hopeful, I guess. But to talk about the record, what a great record. What an absolute joy it was to listen to that on a Friday morning. But what an absolute joy as well to hear a guy that we've rooted for and we want a lot for, but also expect a lot from, because we hold him to a high standard, deliver on that standard and be comfortable in his own skin. I think it's great to hear him like that and be comfortable in his retirement, whether it's permanent or temporary. I mean, I know no one would hold it against him if he came back with new music, I'm sure, but I love the fact that he's chosen a different path for now with the Twitch streaming, being at home, being a dad. I mean, Jesus knows I can respect that as somebody who basically does a very similar thing. Maybe he'll miss the touring, maybe he'll miss the music, but this record shows that he is more than capable of delivering high-level hip-hop music. The first half of this record is fantastic in terms of bars, lyricism, slick wordplay, flow patterns. The beats throughout the album are world class. They're all brilliant. There's not a duff beat on here. They're all excellent. No ID 6 absolutely killed it. I love all the homage that's been paid throughout. Outcast, a lot of Kanye, J. Cole, as I said, other people, Erykah Badu. I'm sure there's other stuff that I missed. There's other bars that I missed. There's lines, there's references. It's very self-referential as well. And this is the product of Logic. Yeah, it said it was written in over the space of a week, and that's how he works, and I relate to that because I work very quickly as well. But then taking a year to polish and fine-tune and rework and get everything right in a collaborative environment is what produces this, as opposed to some of the work that he was putting out over the last few years. And while admittedly, the second half of the record doesn't have quite the same level of lyrical complexity and double entendres as the first half. There are songs in there like Dark Place and like DadBod which revel in their simplicity. So overall, what a fantastic way to go out. If I was going to give it a first reaction score, I'd probably give it a strong 8 out of 10. I think that's fair. I'm interested to know how this album works on repeated plays. Some of those songs may end up feeling like real classics. Some of them may not be able to live up to the impact of hearing them first. I just don't know, and that's why I call it a first reaction score rather than this is my score, because I just don't know yet. But ultimately, I'm coming away from this record on first listen really happy for Logic, really happy for Logic's fans, really happy to call myself one of Logic's fans, and it feels like a beautiful full circle situation as I wrap up almost a year now of just doing this solo, to be here now in this crazy situation personally, but also that Logic really showed us all that he does have it. He is more than capable, and he's a very, very high level hip hop artist. He doesn't need to be the best in the world. He doesn't need to be Kendrick Lamar. He doesn't need to be whoever the whatever was driving him. He had to be a certain thing. He's just himself. He connects with people on a deep level, and he has a lot of ability. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what he does with the next chapter of his life, man. Great stuff. What an enjoyable way to start Friday. Is Kanye going to drop today? We'll find out. It's crazy because there's so much Kanye in this record, but we will find out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you wanted to see the full uncut version of this, that is there on my Patreon, link down in the description, the entire support structure for this channel. And thank you to everybody who's jumped on the Patreon to support so far. If you made it all this way and you're not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Come on, subscribe to the channel. We're on a massive journey here as well, and this feels like a real moment, actually. Just considering where I came from doing this and where I am right now. Come follow me Twitter and Instagram. Come and have a chat. I think that's it. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. All right, peace.